Hi, I will introduce here how we are going to do the Excel part. And just the first thing I want to say is I want to go to my canvas, and I will, or I can see from this one, let me move it, okay. And then I will go to your course and showing you how we will actually download the Excel file that we need, learning, and then here this is the Excel file that we need to download, and then I'm gonna use Excel to open it. Alright, then now here I have the Excel file open, and I want to make it like bigger. Okay, now according to the actually the document that I shared with you, the Word document, I said we're gonna have like part one is gonna be significant figures. You're gonna answer that on your own based on what we did study, but I want to show you how we are going to do the functions in Excel. Okay, the first one is we are going to do the boiling point of water, and we're gonna have our results for what is called the standard deviation. There is two methods. I said one of them, I call it the long one, and I'm gonna start with it. Then the first thing you're gonna say is you're gonna find the average. Then you're gonna come here, you're gonna say equal, you're gonna go to the function, is gonna show you here average, and yeah, just I want to be sure that I'm recording. Okay, then here I have the average, and then I'm gonna say, let me adjust my window here so that you see everything. I think I can maybe, okay, then here there is insert function, and then it's gonna automatic take these from I will say B6 to B15. You're gonna click here enter, and then you should get here your average. This is the average. This is the highlighted here. Let me highlight it for you. Then this is the average. In the second one here, you're gonna say deviation. Now, what does it mean, deviation? Deviation means how your quantity is actually different from the average. And you're gonna say it is this function, this here. Actually, it doesn't matter if you're gonna have it the reading minus the average or the average minus the reading. Then you're gonna say here equal this minus my average, which is 99.9. And then I'm gonna have that calculated. You don't need to do the function for all, and this is the reason why you're gonna come here to the corner. Can you see now my plus has changed into a black one, a black plus sign. Then when I scroll down, it will calculate for me all the deviations. And here also for the deviations, is gonna be, okay, I can actually here copy paste the unit. All right, now I will here have the deviation squared. Then basically what you are going to do, you're going to say equal this times this cell again. Then this here, I got all the squares. Here, I will say equal. I want to add the sum. And then I'm going to insert. And then automatic is going to take all the same cells. And then I can say enter, and then I have the total here, 102.9. Now the next step is you're gonna come here, you're gonna say I wanna divide this number by what's the total number of readings? I have 10. It's gonna be 10 minus 1, which is 9. Finally, the last step here for the long way is to take the square root of that. Then you're going to say, okay, there is a square root function here, square root. And then you're going to say function, insert function. In between here, you're going to do this cell here. And then I'm going to say enter. Then this is my, okay, this is how I have calculated my what is called standard deviation, and this is the long way. And of course all these are really detailed for you in the the handout, like step by step. Here again I can do that using one step, which is the standard deviation. Can you see this one here? STD, insert a function. But I need here to specify the range. I'm going to erase that, and then I'm going to say these are my reading that I want to find the standard deviation for. Just by highlighting. And look here, by just one click, I was able again to calculate what is the standard deviation. Then here I have calculated the standard deviation using the long way and the short way. Now, in your part 2, the boiling point of water, you're going to list the average plus or minus the standard deviation for the long method and for the short method. Also, for this table here, we have a standard value 100, then you need to find the percent difference. This is how I'm going to grade it. Now, for the speed of light, you are going to do the same thing. I want you to do, the standard deviation, only the short one. Don't do the long one. It's enough. And you are going also to write it as the average plus or minus the standard deviation. For the third one here, this one is the data for the mass of 1 mole of bismuth, and this is here. You need to calculate the SD using the short method with the outlier and without the outlier. Okay, then both they're gonna be done with the outlier and without the outlier. And you're gonna list the quantities also as the average plus or minus delta, what is called the standard deviation. Now this part here is the one that we are going to graph, and I want to maybe to highlight it more. This is right here. I want to graph first height versus time. Then I'm gonna say insert, and you can see here I want to use the scatter plot here. Okay, then this is my graph. Now, just before you move this chart to another sheet, what you need to do is, I want you to be sure that we have here the height and we have here the time. And like I can look at the numbers and they are all right. Next, what I will do is I'm gonna right click on that. I'm gonna move the chart to another sheet. I'm gonna call that sheet altitude versus time on Mars. And I want to copy that so that I will give the title for the graph. And then I'm going to hit OK. And then now it's going to show you the new page here. Okay, now I want to, you can see here, there is a quick layout. I want you to choose that so that we will have here this title here, this axis title. I'm gonna say altitude, and this is in meters. And here, okay, let me move this down a little bit. This is gonna be time in seconds. And then I will change this to my, okay, the altitude versus time on Mars. Now I need to fit this, then I'm gonna right click on it. You can see here a trend line, and it's wrong to have it a linear, of course. It's gonna be a polynomial. And there is something called order here too. You can see it like, because it's not within my screen. You're going to display equation on chart, and then I am done with this graph. I want to move this graph to be like sheet number 2 or like the second one. And then I'm going to go back to my data, and then I want to find t squared according to the instructions, second square. Now you can do this highlight here, and you're gonna right click. It's gonna give you format cells, and then you're gonna use from that superscript. Okay, because I want to make it t squared. I want to do this again, highlight, format cells, superscripts, and then okay again. Okay, I want to have maybe my these, like I want to have them, let's say, bold and centered. Now I want to calculate t squared, then I'm gonna say this is times this. Okay, I have squared the first cell. The first cell. I don't have to redo this again. What I can do is again go into the corner. This is gonna turn into a black thing, and then here it's gonna be my t squared. I want to graph also here. I want to show you, and I don't want to move it for a while because I want to show you how I can switch the axes. Then here I'm gonna say scatter plot. Yes, I'm gonna expect this kind of a straight line, but if you look at the number 180 means like this is 168. This means that the t squared is here and the height is gonna be here. And I want the altitude, which is the height, on the vertical, and my t squared on the horizontal. Now I need to switch my axes. Exchange. Okay, then I'm gonna say select data, and you're gonna see this here dialog here. Simply what I can do, like I want to give it a name first. Okay, then I'm gonna say altitude versus time squared. This is one thing. The second thing is I want to have the C column on my Y. Then simply what I simply what I can do is just change D into C, or you can highlight, choose the, but like I like always to do this. I feel this is easier. Then I just exchanged, and then I have it now correct. This is the height or the altitude, and this one is the time squared. I need also to move this chart, I need to move this chart to, where is my move chart? Okay. Come on. Yeah, move chart to a new page. I'm gonna say altitude versus time squared. Okay, yeah, I have limited numbers here. Okay, then I will say okay, and then now I have the numbers. I have my graph. Move into another place, another sheet. I will also again say quick layout because I want to have my axes here. And then here I'm gonna say altitude, okay, and this is meters, and here I'm gonna have time, but remember it is squared, and then it is S, give it this hat, and I can also say the title versus time squared on Mars. Also, I right click here to add the trend line. It is linear. I want to display the equation on the chart. This way I have my my second graph actually completed. You need to move these graphs to your Word document. And finally, the last part, you're going to use the equation editor to complete the, the equations that you have in the handout, which is originally all the instructions are for this lab are in pages 14 and 15. Thank you for listening and see you soon. Bye.